loves, welcome back. Today we're testing out some more new drugstore and affordable makeup products. So grab a snack, get cozy, and let's get into it and do some glam. Eyeshadow palette of the day is this Dreamscape palette from Profusion. This has a variety of mattes, metallics, and shimmers. It actually has them labeled here in the back. And I love Profusion shadows. This new packaging they have is gorgeous. I found this at Walmart for $10 and there's some good variety in here. So we're gonna, I think, just do a little pink and purple moment. Let's get started with this shade right here in Bliss first. I think if you ever want good quality shadows at the drugstore for literally $10 or less, Profusion is where it's at. So I'm gonna start with that color and I'm gonna just put that in the crease, all over the lid, everywhere. Even though this is a pastel color, I feel like it has good color payoff. Okay, cute. Then I'm gonna go into this pink shade Hypnotic. I'm gonna add a little bit of that on the outer lid. I'm gonna add more of the color Bliss with a flat shader brush right on the lid. Little cotton candy moment. Now let's go into this really light baby pink right here. This is a metallic. Look at the pigment on these, it's insane. And I'm gonna just very lightly dust that on my lids. Gorgeous. So far so good. Love the two shades that I'm using in the glitter, or technically it's not a glitter, it's a metallic, but it looks so sparkly and I love the pigment. So now let's do, of course, a little shadow wing, but I'm actually going to use the purple shadow in here. This one in Utopia, because I have this purple shadow stick slash eyeliner that I want to use on my waterline later on. So we're going to do purple and see how it looks. Okay, wait, this is not as dark as I thought it was going to be. Oh yeah, it's gonna be super light purple. So I'm gonna just try to build it up. Let's see. There's a lot of fallout with this color. So yeah, thank God I did my eyes first. To really build it up. Let's try to spray the brush. I'm gonna dip it in that purple shadow and then spray it with a little bit of setting spray. Oh yeah, that does help. Spraying your brush always makes a difference. For me, my favorite thing about Profusion shadows is the fact that you get so much in one palette. You really cannot beat it. So now I have this Wet n Wild multi-stick, and I've talked about these before. They're literally one of the best, most underrated products at the drugstore. It's technically a stick that you could use as a cream eyeshadow. I use it as an eyeliner. I think you could even use these if you wanted to on your cheeks, it says, and lips. But I love it as an eye product because it's so creamy and pigmented. And I want to put a little bit of this right on my lash line just to kind of darken the lash line up a little bit with a bit of a darker purple as well. I'm gonna apply this on my lower lash line once I'm all done everything, but I just want to do a little bit right now to kind of emphasize the light purple. I'm gonna just take that same eyeliner and just go over it because, yeah, it pops more than with that eyeshadow that we had going on. I think I like that even a little bit more because it's just a bit more of a rich purple. I wasn't going to do this because it's darker, but since we have that lighter purple there, I'm like, this is gonna just deepen that up, and I should have just did this in the first place, but I wanted to see what that other purple was all about and if it would show up a little bit more vividly. And I feel like it does if you spray it with your setting spray, but it is still pretty light, so I like this multi-stick because it just deepens everything up a little bit better. do a little bit more of that metallic shade on the lid. So I think I'm pretty much done with the palette. I might do a little bit of like a purple, blue, maybe lower lash line once I'm all done everything at the end. But I really just wanted to dabble into those shades today because I want to keep the theme pink purple. We have a pink highlighter, so it's the theme. So I applied some lashes. These are the Ardell Demi Wispies. I just trimmed them a little bit, so they're pretty much like a half lash on my eyes. I also added a little bit of this purple shade on this really tiny little fluffy brush from BK Beauty. It's the A504. I just took a touch of that shade because it actually does have some good color payoff, but since it is more of a pastel color, it's not super dark and intense. But I just took that on a fluffy brush and very lightly just dusted that into my crease and on the outer lid to emphasize some of that pink and just, you know, the color combo pink and purple. It's the theme for today, so I just wanted to add a little bit more of that right in here. I also did two little pearls on my lids, and they're actually from the Dollar Tree. Apparently these are for your nails, but I just stuck them right onto my lids, and so far they are sticking because they do have a little bit of like a self-adhesive on them, so I just popped those on there. Now let's move into the complexion, which is personally my favorite. I'm gonna go in with the Super Fix Super Grip Primer from Revolution. I feel like every other brand has a gripping primer of some sort, especially at the drugstore nowadays. So let's see how this one compares to my other favorites. Ooh, it smells good. Kind of has a cucumber melon scent. I'm actually going to just do one side because we're going to try out a new skin tint foundation situation. So let's see if this primer is going to make a difference. I'll just prime my right side. Oh, it does smell like cucumber melon. I was a cucumber melon girly. It's like one of my favorite scents when I was younger. It smells good. So it is nice and hydrating. It applies like a hydrating serum and it does have a scent. It kind of gives a little bit of a Glow Recipe scent. I love it. It smells so good. It doesn't feel as tacky as the Wet n Wild Clingy Primer, which is one of the newer gripping primers that I've tried, but it does feel like it is drying down and it has a bit of a tacky base. I'm gonna just spray a little bit of the setting spray from Essence on the other side just to give my skin a quick little boost of hydration because I wiped away the fallout, so I don't really have anything on this side. I just want like a quick little spray, even though this setting spray, technically this one says it's mattifying, but whatever. This is what it looks like, by the way, from Essence. We're gonna use that later on to set the makeup, but I just wanted a quick little refresh. Now we're going to go in with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Foundation Balm. This is supposed to be medium to buildable coverage, very skin-like. There's skincare in here. Pretty much, I feel like, don't you guys feel like a lot of skin tints and foundations, they have all very similar claims. So I want to see how this compares to my Milani skin tint foundation stick that I have been loving literally ever since it came out. And this one, by the way, I have in shade Light 8. So let's apply it on this side first where we applied the primer. Completely guessed my shade, by the way. They sent me a couple colors and I feel like this one is going to be the best. I'm going to use this Versed brush. It's just like a little multitasking brush. I believe that's actually what the name of it is. Ooh, we do have a good shade match. That's good. That's actually perfect. I feel like the skin looks really juicy and enhanced in the best way. Let's do more on the forehead. I love products like this because they're so easy. And you can really just amp up the coverage as needed or keep it really light and neutral or natural. Very hydrating consistency, gives a light natural glow from within, and then this is without. So let's try it here with no primer directly onto the skin. I feel like compared to the one from Milani, this one is a little bit more of a dewy finish. It's not overly dewy, but the one from Milani has a soft matte finish and this one doesn't. But it still gives nice coverage though, like the one from Milani, which I appreciate. It just melts into the skin. It's so satisfying. I could apply the stripes on my skin all day. It does go on really nicely. So this seems like a hybrid between a foundation and a skin tint, and I will say it does have pretty decent coverage, which I appreciate. Love the way it just melts in the skin like truly butter. This is a good match. Light 8. Pretty happy with this. And I like how juicy the skin looks. Let's move into this Physicians Formula Cheeks, Eyes, and Lips multi-use stick. I really wanted to try this, especially for the bronzer stick up here, because I have some new blushes actually from ColourPop, and this packaging is gorgeous. I love Physicians Formula. Their butter bronzer is one of my favorites. So this one is in Berry Tan. Let's just add a little bit of bronze to the forehead because I do have a new blush that I want to try. So I just want to do a little bit of warmth around this area. And then this is the blush on the other side, which I'm just going to swatch this one because like I said, I do have another blush. This is really pretty. It kind of gives a natural flush. It has that balm consistency, and you also do get a little glow with that as well. 2-in-1 products are my favorite, especially if you're on the go. It's so ideal and convenient. Let's blend that in with the Real Technique Soft Sculpting Brush. Let's add a little bit more. I'm gonna actually apply this directly onto the brush instead. Oh yeah. This is very warm though. As you can see, it has a very orangey undertone. Just going over this with my foundation brush. I do like it. I think I would like this color more on my skin tone if I had a little bit more of a tan. I think I am not tan enough for this undertone. I love the convenience of this product. I think I would probably prefer something with a little bit of a different undertone, but I think again in the summertime when I have more color to me, it'll be a much better shade on my skin tone, but I still do like it though. Okay, now we have these ColourPop liquid blushes. We're gonna try 2 shades here. Princess Ave and Sweet Treat. Are these not the prettiest colors? And we're again on theme with the pink. Look at how gorgeous this packaging is. Princess Ave, so cute. Definitely like a rare beauty kind of moment. I'm gonna apply this on the back of my hand because I can imagine these are gonna be so pigmented. It kind of reminds me of Happy from Rare Beauty, but this one does have a shimmer finish. Okay, maybe we can go directly on the skin. Let's see. Pretty. Let's try the color Sweet Treat on the other side. This one has a bit more of like a purpley kind of undertone. So far, I really do like this blush formula. I don't find it to be overly pigmented to the point where it is very difficult to blend. These are a little bit more buildable compared to Rare Beauty, but I really like both of these colors. So we have Princess Ave, which is a glowy pink rose shade. And then we have Sweet Treat, which is a more of a mauvey purpley pink. I really like this one, especially with this look today. But I had no issues blending either of these. They look so good and I love the packaging. It's so cute. Now we're gonna do a little concealer combo. I have tried this concealer before, but we're gonna do the corrector first because the concealer shade is a little bit too dark for my under eyes. So I'm gonna do a corrector underneath because I tried this the other day and I was able to make the concealer shade work. And this product I used in my last testing new drugstore makeup video. It's the Skin Silk Corrector and Concealer from Makeup Revolution. And this one I have in the shade Light Peach. So in that video I mentioned I didn't really love this because I was kind of using it just as a concealer, but really it is a corrector concealer. So it's going to be a little bit more light coverage. There's not a lot of shades in these kind of products, which you guys told me about because it's a corrector, which most brands typically just have like, I would say 4 to 6 shades with correctors like this. So they're pretty on par with that. It does have that metal applicator. For me, I feel like a product like this could work, for instance, today if you need to lighten up any concealer, or if you like something a little bit more lightweight and you don't like a lot of coverage. I do like the metal applicator though, I will be honest, it's nice. So I'm gonna blend that in, and just to show you how it does brighten. So if you like a little bit more lighter coverage or you want something that's going to be really natural, a product like this would be ideal for your makeup routine. See how it just brightens? It's natural, it's a little bit glowy, but it doesn't have a lot of coverage, but that's the point because it's more of a corrector. So you could either use this on its own or use it underneath another concealer, which is what I'm going to do today. So I tested this concealer out the other day, but like I said, I had to wipe it off because it was a little bit too dark for my under eyes. It's the Versed Skin Solution Serum Concealer. Very hydrating, very glowy. I would say the coverage is a natural medium coverage. And this one is in the shade 60. So I think I probably need to go down maybe a shade or two, but with the corrector underneath, because it is so light, I can make it work. That's why I'm going to be mixing it in with that corrector, and I feel like it's much more manageable. I will even sometimes actually add more of the corrector over top after I have this in, just to give it a little bit more of an even brighter look. And since the Makeup Revolution product is so thin, I feel like you can kind of do that and mix both of them. When you mix these two products together, they actually do look really pretty. So those are the under eyes. Very, I would say, natural, medium coverage, super dewy, super hydrated. So if you don't like a very hydrating concealer formula, you're not gonna like this one from Versed. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. And even mixing this product over top of the corrector from Makeup Revolution, the effect that it gives is very similar to the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. But that one I feel like just has coverage right off the bat. You don't really have to mix it over top of another corrector or anything. It's just beautiful on its own. So if you're looking for something like this for your under eyes and you don't want to mix two different products, I feel like that is a really great option. But I do feel like these two products work beautifully together because they have similar effects on the skin. Now let's set everything with powder. I'm going to use the Essence Flawless Skin Trio. This was from my last drugstore video. I want to test it out again though because I really enjoyed it and how it looked the last time I used it. It was really smooth and brightening. So with this, you could either use one of the colors. So we have a lavender, we have a peach, and then we have a pink. Or you can mix all of the colors and just put it like on a cap or something, and then you get like this really beautiful cotton candy looking shade, and it's so brightening and gorgeous on the under eyes. I feel like this powder is very smoothing on the under eyes, and I usually honestly don't love Essence under eye powders, but this one is gorgeous. And I love how you can mix all of the powders together because it really does make a pretty color combination. I love, and we don't have a lot of lavender. Do we have any lavender powders at the drugstore? I don't think we do. So it's a nice change. So I really do like this concealer combination, and I like the Revolution product more mixed with another concealer versus just on its own for me personally. I don't really love the way this butter bronzer on the go looks on my skin tone. I think this shade right here is gonna work better in the summer for me. So let's set the rest of the makeup because I need it so bad. We're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna keep it classic. NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Love that you can still see the blush even after the powder and everything. I love this color. Again, Sweet Treat, my favorite color. Now we're gonna amp up the cheeks even more, and this is the main reason also why I wanted to keep the pink and purple theme. I got this Butter Melt highlighter in You Butter Work from NYX. I got this at Ulta. They had really pretty colors, but I love a frosty shimmery pink highlighter because I use it as a blush topper, typically over top of literally any blush. I'm gonna use a little fluffy brush like this Laura Lee L35. Nothing too dense because it's probably gonna be really intense, so I just want to dust it. Yep. Just as a little blush topper. I love it. That's pretty. It does have some color payoff as well, so you're going to get a little bit of a pink hue with a gorgeous glow. Oh wow, now that I'm swatching it, kind of reminds me of my House Labs Rose Quartz highlighter that I love over so many of my favorite blushes. It kind of does give that vibe. I'm going to do a swatch comparison and I'll insert it here. I don't think it's identical. My first impression is that this seems to be a little bit more frosty than the one from House Labs, but if you're into a glowy pink highlighter blush moment, I think you would really like this. Now for the lower lash line, we're going to go back into that gorgeous purple. We're going to drag it down here. Pink and purple always brings me back to my childhood bedroom because literally everything in there was pink and purple. And oh my gosh, I don't know if any of you guys have been here since the very beginning. When I first started making videos, my bedroom was this gorgeous light lavender shade. It was so pretty. So my love for pink and purple still remains. This is like the little baby Jazz that loves this color combination. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of that multi-stick on my waterline. Now I don't have purple mascara, but I'm gonna just use this navy mascara that I love from CoverGirl. It's the Lash Blast Cleantopia, and it's the navy one. And sometimes I just wear this as well, and I just love what it does, especially usually when I do blue on my eyes, but with the purple I think it's fine. Honestly, it doesn't look too intense. Just gives it a light little navy touch. But if you have brown eyes, try navy mascara. It's so pretty. Now we're gonna try the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Yummy Blur Matte Lipsticks. I have two colors here. Let's start off with the pink color in Sugar Poppy. It smells delish. This is what it looks like. It kind of looks like a tinted lip balm as far as the packaging. I love that each of these have a different color, like the actual packaging. Ooh. Okay, pigment. My mom's gonna love this color. She loves her coral pinks. This smells like a spring fragrance. It's divine. This color is very pretty. Not my personal vibe, but I love the pigment. I do feel like it is nice and creamy. It does seem to have a matte finish. This next shade is Into the Blur. I do feel like they're like smoothing on the lips. So this one is Into the Blur. I like this color more on me personally versus the other one. I feel like this with the lip liner would look really cute. Even with this makeup look, I do like this. I want to try another color. Okay, I have another shade here. Perfectly Blurry. This is another neutral, but they have bold shades in these as well. Let's see what this color looks like. Oh, this is super natural. Oh, this is like my lip color, but better. See, it's a little bit more of a buildable formula. It almost goes on like a lip balm, but then it actually does show up on your lips the more that you apply it. It's very comfortable. Okay, let's do a lip combo. I'm gonna start off with Cappuccino from Rimmel. This is one of my favorite drugstore cool toned lip liners. It's like a true cool tone shade. It doesn't pull orange or anything or too gray. Then I'm gonna top it off with the Clean Fresh Blur lipstick in 140 Into the Blur. I wish it was a little bit more of like a mauve tone. No, I do actually like it. I don't know if it really matches with everything, but I love the way this looks now, even more with a lip liner, and the formula feels so nice. It's so lightweight and airy. Like you don't even feel like it's a traditional lipstick even. It's just very airy texture. I have this So Juicy Plumping Gloss Bomb from ColourPop, and this one is in Cyberstar. I feel the urge to just go over top of this combo with this just because I think it's gonna pull the look together because it's very similar to the eye look. It's one of those like clicky lip balms. I've never tried these before. I also wanted a little bit of gloss, honestly, because I'm just a glossy girl. Okay, yeah, this is perfect, actually. This is exactly what I wanted. Now we're gonna set everything down. I'm gonna use the Essence Fix and Last Instant Matte Setting Spray. I believe it was the hydrating version in my last video, so let's see how this holds up and if it actually is gonna be mattifying throughout the day. Let's go through all the products, starting off with the eyeshadow palette. I know I didn't use a lot of shades in here, but this did not disappoint. I mean, this color, I did want it to be a little bit more vibrant, the purple, but we still made it work, and I still stand by Profusion shadows. I think they are some of the best at the drugstore. And then this Wet n Wild multi-stick, this is not new, but this is a new color. The color is kind of a weird name, Royal Scam, but it's a really pretty satin royal purple. I love the quality of these, but I also love how versatile they are. So these are definitely a gem at the drugstore for under $5. So good. As far as the complexion, I really like the Revolution Foundation Super Grip Primer. This kind of reminds me of the NYX gripping primer a little bit. The thing with this is it's not as tacky as most primers that are on the market currently. For instance, the Wet n Wild Clingy Primer, the e.l.f. Power Grip. I feel like this is a little bit more of a mild version to that, so that's why I said it reminds me a lot of the one from NYX. The Tinted Foundation Balm from ColourPop was also really pretty. It melts into the skin. It's hydrating and leaves a dewy finish. And even without the primer from Revolution underneath, it is a little bit more of a dewy formula. Physicians Formula Butter Glow and Go. I know I didn't use the blush in here. I'll have to use that another time, but the bronzer is very warm on the skin. I think for me right now, it's not my favorite because I don't have any color to me, but if I had a tan, I think this would look really pretty. It did blend really nicely. It has a lot of pigment, but you can just see that undertone. It's very rich. It's very orangey, so I don't really love it right now, but I think the formula is really nice. I do, however, love the Sweet Treat blush from ColourPop. This is the prettiest mauvey, pinky toned, glowy blush. It has the perfect amount of pigment also. I don't find it to be overwhelming. Like when you blend it, it's pigmented and it's glowy, but it's manageable. And even if you do too much, I feel like it still has some good blend to it and you can make it work. So this is a winner. And I love how when you apply the powder over top, you can still see that color peeking through. I love the concealer combo. So with the under eye brightener and concealer from Revolution, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to get very light, minimal coverage. If you're into something natural, you're gonna like this. I definitely feel like it does what it says. It's not my personal favorite on its own, just because I prefer a little bit more coverage, but I do really like it with the Versed Serum Concealer. I feel like these products were made for each other. They work beautifully together. The powder from Essence, again, I know this is from the last video, but it is really, really good. It's very smoothing on the skin. It gives that blurred effect without that dry, cakey under eye. That's why I love the Wet n Wild Soft Pink powder so much. I think these two are fantastic. But with Essence, I love that you get 3 powders in one and you can mix them all together or use one individually. So this is a winner. The Tinted Foundation Balm from ColourPop is also so pretty on the skin. It gives good coverage. It's very hydrating. Compared to the one from Milani, this one is much more dewy. The one from Milani is going to give you soft matte skin, whereas this is going to be a little bit more of a hydrating formula. So it comes down to your preference with finish. This Buttermelt highlighter from NYX is gorgeous. I love that frosty pink shade. I think this could be a nice addition to any of your favorite blushes. It's a little bit more frosty than the one from House Labs, but I still really love it because look at how smooth that is. I feel like even this all over your lid would be so pretty as an eyeshadow. These blurring lipsticks from CoverGirl. It's fruity, it's sweet, but I actually love how lightweight these are. It feels like you have on a chapstick on your lips. Like they're so airy, but they still have a good amount of buildable pigment. I did apply a gloss over top, like I told you guys, the one from ColourPop, but I really like this color in the shade. Again, it's in Into the Blur 140. And then the So Juicy Plumping Gloss Bombs from ColourPop. I think this color really tied everything together in Cyberstar. See, with these, sometimes it can get a little bit messy if you click a little bit too much product, but I love this color. It also doesn't feel like it's overly tingly or plumping my lips too much. So I think if you want a lot of plump, I don't think you're gonna get it with these, but I personally like that. I don't like too much plump, but this is just the right amount. You get a nice juicy pout. And last but not least, we have the setting spray, which I will say I appreciate the fact that Essence has improved the spray because it is much more pleasant, and I do think that this mattified my skin for real. So I'm gonna come back in a few hours. We're gonna see how this all looks and if there is a difference between the primed side versus the not primed side. But let me zoom you in so you can see the skin. I feel like the bronzer kind of threw a little bit of things off over here on this side, but I'm still loving the way everything looks. Also, can we talk about the fact that the little pearls are still intact? I'm gonna come back and see if they are in a few hours, but that's impressive because I didn't even use any lash glue like I usually do, so love that. So here we have about a 7-hour check-in, and I was very surprised to see the first day that I wore this, the side with primer ended up looking very patchy compared to the side with no primer, which was much smoother. I really wasn't doing much this day because I ended up getting my period, so I wasn't sweating or doing any rigorous activity. So I was surprised to see how patchy and faded the foundation was after just a few hours. And I do think the other side with no primer looks better versus with primer, but I still don't think it looks super seamless compared to other foundations and skin tints that I've tried. It looks good when you first apply it, but I feel like this might be one of those products that just doesn't really wear the best, but I'll definitely have to keep experimenting with it. Let's do another makeup look with the same palette. This time we're going to focus on the blues. So let's start off with this shade right here. We're going to pop that in the crease. Then let's go into this shade On Cloud 9, another light baby blue. I'm gonna put that on my lid. It's very similar to the color we just used. Ooh. Loving the pigment on these. They're pastel shades, but I think they build up really nicely. It's a really pretty color. I love it. We are very blue today, but you guys know I love matching my eye makeup to my top. I don't know how this is gonna look, but let's just go with it. I'm gonna take a little bit of this blue right here and just make it a little bit darker right on the outer lid, just to give this a little bit of dimension. Although I do love the way one color looks all over the lid, especially when it's a light pastel, because you can really make the entire makeup look just revolve around that one shade. I also have a Wet n Wild multi-stick that is pretty much just like this color that I want to try as well. I told you guys I've been obsessed with the multi-sticks, and they're literally like $2. They're such amazing quality. The pigmentation is insane. Now you know I can never resist a little glitter topper moment. So I have these Fairy Dust Duochrome eye toppers from JCat Beauty. This one is in Prismatic Light. I mean, tell me this is not just the most perfect blue eye topper. So of course I'm gonna apply this and see how it looks over top of this blue. Packaging looks just like Urban Decay, to be honest. So cute, very sheer, as you can see, because it is just an eye topper. So I'm gonna just top it over top with my finger. Oh, that's cute. It's very light, but that's the point. You know, you're gonna just get a very light scattered glitter effect. I love my glitter, I'll tell you that. I cannot not use glitter in my makeup looks. I just love it. These are pretty cute. I don't know if it's because it's mixing with the other powdered shadow. They don't appear to be super sparkly. It gives it, like I said, that very light scattered effect. Now let's try this blue liner from NYX. It's the Epic Ink in the shade Midnight Rise. Blue liner has been one of my favorite things ever, so I feel like this is gonna be good, and it's perfect with today's look. So give it a good shake, and then let's do a wing. The NYX Epic Ink Liner is a winner. I love the shade of blue. It is so pretty, so easy to work with. 10 out of 10. So now let's move into the complexion, because I was shocked to see how patchy the foundation was 2 days ago when I was filming, because I wasn't even sweating or doing any rigorous activity that day because I just got my period. So the walking has been very light, so I haven't been sweating a ton. So I want to try out the same Revolution primer on this side again today, but I want to compare it to the Wet n Wild Clingy primer, because I want to see if the foundation is going to get patchy maybe with this kind of primer, or was it just with the Revolution one? I don't know. We're going to find out. So let's start off with the Super Grip primer on this side from Revolution. And I love the way this applies. It is so hydrating. It feels really good. I'm gonna let this absorb into my skin for a little bit just to give it some time to really soak in. And then on the other side, we're gonna use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Clingy Primer. I really have been loving this one, so let's see. This one is much tackier, but they both have a nice hydrated, very serum-like texture. And I thought the foundation shade was pretty good, light 8, but I also have light 7 that I thought we could try here and see how that looks. So let's do it. This one is light 7, which I think honestly might be an even better match. Maybe it is going to be a little bit too light. I don't know. Let's just blend this in. This one is the 101 brush from BK Beauty, by the way. Okay, I think this color is a little bit too light. So maybe light 8 is a perfect match for me right now. I feel like this matches my face, but the rest of my body, it's a little bit too light. I'm just gonna go over it a little bit with light 8. I do love how lightweight this product is. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin at all. Like, you literally just paint it on. But it's crazy how it wore so much better without the primer. So sometimes I guess primer is not always the best. I guess it truly depends on what you mix it with. I'm gonna just do the same thing on this side just so we have a good all around color match. I'm gonna start off with light 7 because I feel like actually mixing those two shades created like a perfect match. I'm gonna do the same concealer combo today. So we're gonna do the under eye brightener first from Revolution in light peach. I don't really mind a natural kind of under eye product. I just personally prefer a little bit more coverage. But if you're into a natural light look and you don't like a lot of makeup on your under eyes, I think you would really like this under eye brightener and corrector. Now let's try that Physicians. We're gonna try everything again today because that is what it's all about. Butter Glow on the Go product. Let's try it out. I think I'm gonna try the blush again today since we know the ColourPop blushes are good. Let's try the blush on this side here today. I'm gonna just take this product on a Real Techniques sculpting brush, put it on the back of my hand first, and then from here work this into my skin for a little bronze. It's really pigmented, this product, so yeah, less is more. It does have a nice blend to it though, I will say. So I think if you are working with this product, just don't use too much because you really don't need to. It gives a lot of color payoff, and then it could look a little bit muddy or too orangey if you're using too much product. But if you do a light amount, I do think it warms up your skin really nicely. I'm not going to do too much today because I would rather have to just add a little bit of extra powder bronzer or something over top than have to take it away. Because I feel like the first time when I tried everything out, this side for some reason was like a little bit orangey, and I think it's just because I added way too much of this bronzer. Same with the blush. I'm gonna just apply this directly onto a brush, wipe off a little excess right on the palm of my hand, and then apply. Could even do less than what I did, honestly. It has a nice blend to it though. Good thing I didn't go directly onto my skin because there's a lot of pigment with these blushes, but I will say they do have a nice blend to them. I think I like them more today. Now let's set the under eyes again. We're gonna go back in with that Essence Flawless Skin Trio. Setting with this same NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder. Drop your favorite drugstore pressed powder down below that you guys have been using because I literally have not found anything better than this. That's why I always go back to it because it's top tier. Let's go back into that Frosty Pink highlighter for a glowy cheek. For the lower lashes, we have another Wet n Wild multi-stick, and I haven't tried this color in Blew Me Away. Just so incredibly pigmented. Going back in with that Cleantopia, the navy mascara. What shade is this in? Because I love navy. Ultramarine? Ultramarine. Navy blue. Another blue mascara that's really good. ColourPop BFF. The blue one. Such a good lower lash mascara too if you want to do a pop of color. I think if you have, let's say, blue eyes, I would do a brown mascara to make your eyes pop. If you have green eyes, you could do purple mascara. You could even do also a brown mascara or like a more burgundy. That's gonna look gorgeous on your eyes. Now for lip combo. So the Clean Fresh Yummy lipsticks, they leave behind a little bit of a stain. I didn't find them to be super long wearing or anything like that, but I thought they were pretty. We're gonna try them again today. I think I want to do like a same lip combo. I'm gonna do NYX Nude Truffle. This is one of those colors that you just cannot go wrong with. NYX lip pencils are just always so good. I kind of want to match the cheeks to the lips, so I'm going to take that same raspberry blush from Physicians Formula. I'm going to dab it onto the lips a little bit just to give it almost like that stained look. That is so pretty. See, today I like this product so much more. That's why I don't like to just rule or cancel products out the first time I try them. If I don't like them, I like to give them multiple chances before ruling them out, unless I know, okay, this is not going to work for me. But even then, sometimes there's products that I end up loving that maybe before I didn't love. I'm also adding a little bit of the Yummy Blur lipstick from the other day and into the blur. It kind of also matches the cheeks. I love this shade. I actually do feel like these are blurring on the lips, like they smooth you out. So I'm loving all the blue tones today. I really do like this Dreamscape palette from Profusion. The formula is a little bit more on the buildable side as far as pigmentation goes, and I just used a regular eyeshadow primer, but I feel like if you really wanted to make these pop, you could apply them over top of a white cream base, or even just a cream base in general, since these are pastel shades. But I'm loving the tones in here. I think this is a cute, colorful palette if you want to add something colorful to your collection, but you don't want to spend a lot of money. This is it. It's a winner. Both liners are also a winner. The NYX Epic Ink did not disappoint. I love this color in Midnight Rise. It is the prettiest navy teal color. Great formula, just like the black one. I feel like with all their new shades, they're consistently really good as far as pigmentation goes. The Wet n Wild Multi-Stick in Blew Me Away is another beautiful option. I love the way this looks on the waterline. It really pops. And then the complexion and everything else was pretty much the same from the other day. I'm so happy that I got to use this Butter Glow and Go product again. The bronzer looks so much better today. It's not as muddy because I didn't use as much. So this is a really pigmented little duo. It maybe doesn't look like much in here, but it's intense. Blush is absolutely gorgeous. This raspberry color is perfection. I don't know what it is, but the tone of this is perfect. I love it for the cheeks and the lips. The ultimate test for today is really going to be how these primers wear with the foundation from ColourPop. So I'm going to come back in a few hours and I'll show you guys what everything looks like. But right now, I think it looks pretty good. I can't say that the foundation stick is going to be my all-time favorite. I think it's a pretty product, but if I had to compare or choose one at the drugstore, I still think I like the Milani one better. But we'll see how this looks in a little bit, in a few hours. And I'll keep testing it out and playing with it with other primers and stuff, but so I will see you guys in a few hours and I'll check in and show you what everything looks like. So after day 2, the biggest difference I noticed between both sides is that Wet n Wild looks a little bit more dewy versus Makeup Revolution. So let me know which day you guys like better, day 1 or day 2. I think it wore a little bit better on day 2, but it's definitely still not perfect. I also don't feel like the setting spray did a whole lot of mattifying in my opinion. The foundation is okay. I think I want to try it with a different primer that's not gripping. I think maybe a smoothing primer might work a little bit better with it. Also, the Physicians Formula product, I love it. I just need to get a different shade because I feel like the undertone of the bronzer is kind of also throwing me off and I don't really love it. There's still definitely some gems in today's video though. I love the blushes, the powder from Essence, the eyeshadows from Profusion, definitely some winners. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you've tried any of these products and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye!